Willits is our town. Always has been, and always will be. Like any other town, it changes just a little bit from time to time. So we're here to let you know some of the things that are going on in your town.
Hi there, I'm Shari Williams-Andrews, your host for This Week in Willits, where we always learn more about our town and its recent and upcoming events. First up, Marc Komer talks about the importance of voting yes on libraries and what that involves. Next up, we get a look at the local meeting dealing with Rails with Trails to see what they have in mind for trails around Willits. Okay, let's see what Marc Komer has to say about yes on libraries.
Hi, I'm Marc Komer, and I'm the 3rd District Library Advisory Board member. I'm also on the Yes on Library Committee. I serve as secretary. I've been on the Library Advisory Board for 6 years, and I represent the Willits, Laytonville, and Covelo areas. I'm here today to talk about the Yes on Library campaign. This is of vital importance to the 3rd District because the Library Advisory Board, of which I'm a member, believes that the function of the Willits Library and all of the library system is dependent on the passage of yes on libraries, Measure A. This will be on the fall ballot. I'm here to ask you to vote yes on this. Yes on libraries is a ballot measure that asks the voters of Mendocino County to pass a 1/8 cent sales tax increase. Sales tax is only on taxable merchandise. It is not on food or medicine or services. For the average family, the average household, this will mean a net increase of $20 a year. That's per household. Low-income families, it'll amount to about the equivalent of a postage stamp every month. That's a pretty small amount of money for everybody to chip in for the exclusive use of the libraries. There are 6 branches of the Mendocino County Library. This district has 2, Willits and Covelo. But all of the branches are extremely important. They function as a totality. This includes the Bookmobile, the Ukiah Library, Fort Bragg Library, and the South Coast Library. Libraries are an integral part of our communities. The Yes on Library campaign is asking you to vote as soon as you receive your absentee ballot, or if you're a poll voter, to go on November 8th to your polling station and vote. If we pass this, and we need a 2/3 majority, the money will be exclusively used by the libraries for the purchase of new books, keeping all branches open 5 days a week, the hiring of 2 children's librarians, 1 coast, 1 inland, and the restoration of the interlibrary loan service. I want to talk just briefly about the Willits Library because listeners or viewers in the Willits area have particular interest in this library. If Yes on Libraries does not pass, it's possible that our branch library will close. The Willits Library is at the heart of our community. I personally can't conceive of Willits functioning as a community without our library. It's the heart of our town, not only for our students and young people, elders, family members, but everyone who uses it. Use it for materials, studying, as a safe place, a meeting room, a place to do research. Many people use it simply to get on a broadband network. It's free. It's the only place in town to have free access to the internet. You bring your laptop, you've got a hotspot right there. Currently, the libraries are only open 3 days a week. That's because funding has been cut year after year. I've been on the Library Advisory Board now for 6 years, and every year there has been a cut. Yes on Libraries will keep our libraries open. We need your vote. Please, if you haven't already voted by the time you see this tape, please get out and vote. The library system depends on you. It's a small amount of money to pay to keep our libraries open. Yes on Libraries has been endorsed by the Willits City Council, the Willits Unified School District. It's been supported and endorsed by Sheriff Allman, Marge Hanley, Jerry Ward, as well as Mike Griggs, and hundreds of Willits citizens. It's also been endorsed by the Chamber of Commerce and many business people in Willits. Yes on Libraries will keep our libraries open. We need your vote. Please, if you haven't already voted by the time you see this tape, please get out and vote. The library system depends on you. It's a small amount of money to pay to keep our libraries open.
Hikers, you name it, exercise enthusiasts and teachers and interested in the ways that it can help our community. So we're, as Rotary is helping to get some ideas going about the trails.
We're just trying to, for me, trails with rails is an interesting project, but it also is interesting as other projects that are available to us in town. Like we have a lot of trails and brook trails, we have we also have the skunk train. There's a lot of things to do other than just following one specific trail or one specific route in CRA. So the things that we can do as a community.
My name is Ian Fitzpatrick, and I'm here really as an interested community member. My wife and I have a young family, so we love trails and being outdoors.
I'm Jed Diamond. I am co-founder of the Willits Healthy Action Team, also known as WHAT. And when people are asking what's happening, you know what's happening. Our interest is kind of taking the walk that's a kind of hub in Willits and extending it in other ways. So the idea is, you see that brown line is the railway right away, and we're hoping to, as you see, it cuts right across the kind of the middle of our walk. So the idea would be if we could extend the walk and continue a larger opportunity, that would solve a lot of our interests and needs. So that's why we're here.
I'm Carolyn Diamond. I'm a walk aficionado, and I love to walk. And I used to like to bicycle a lot. And at 73, I'm just a little bit more cautious being on the streets with the bike and that kind of. So I would bike a lot with a really, really good trail. I would love that.
My name is Larry Strobes. I'm a retired advertising executive for the Bay Area. You all probably know that there are great multi-use trails in the Bay Area. I got inspired here in Willits after joining Rotary. I discovered that there was a Rotary Club in southwestern Scotland that over the years had developed a 100-mile trail along the coast. You'd think, how could that be? How could they not have a trail along the southwest coast of Scotland? But apparently it's not a very heavily touristed area, and this Rotary Club just took the bull by the horns and made this thing happen. And now it's rated among the top 20 multi-use trails in Scotland.
Hi, I'm Paul Kaler. I'm the Willits City Manager. I'm here because Larry asked me. I'm here because my primary interest is to execute the policies of the Willits City Council. That's my job. And one of the things that when I came here 3 years ago that council wanted done is they wanted projects completed and executed. We've completed a number of projects, and this is an exciting vision, adding trails and improving the health of the community by improving its walking and bicycling opportunities. So,
And horseback riding.
I'm definitely interested in the short-term projects that we do with our energy, because I think this is a much longer-term project than we're thinking. If we can get to work together with brook trails, just go up there and clean it up with 50 volunteers, and open up those existing ones and hike on them and build the enthusiasm for actually doing what we're talking about.
I'm an avid cyclist, hiker, own a couple dogs, like to take out. I also own the local bike shop, so obviously I have some reason to be here. And I would agree with much of what I'm hearing here so far is the short-term wins, getting some wins under your belt, and not going after the big fish right away. helps build enthusiasm.
So I'm really looking forward to being able to ride my horse somewhere that's from town to wherever it takes us. Because there are not a lot of horse trails here in the Willits Valley. You have to know someone to get on their property to be able to ride there. So I'd like to see more horse equestrian trails.
I am fairly new to the area. I moved down here from Portland, Oregon last December. And Portland is the land of bike trails. And I just see the value of having a trail, and it enhances every neighborhood that they go through. And they have trails that circle Portland and then bisect it in many ways. You know, they have a 30-mile trail, a bike lane, bike path that goes all the way around, and they're heavily used. So I just see the value of it as being way beyond just the simple use of it. It brings people to the area, makes it a friendlier town, and it's an asset that just stays and keeps on giving.
Larry Desmond, I'm a bicyclist, and I like long bicycle rides. And I go out of state to ride my bicycle, and it annoys the heck out of me. I want to stay here, and we've got a great place to ride. We have a lot of people that would like to ride that are afraid to ride, and for good reason. It's just not safe. Avoid those really high-priced dollar issues. Safe riding or walking, but get the darn thing going. So thanks for all of your interest.
I love to walk. I've been walking all my life. Started out when I was little with my nanny. But it's dangerous walking in our town. So you gotta be really careful what you do and how you walk and where you walk. And I'd love to see trails for horses. That'd be great. I think kids need a place to ride because there's a lot of kids that ride their horses and it's dangerous on the road. Out in the valley, I see kids riding and there's no place to ride out there. They ride on the road and sometimes people are not courteous with their cars. They honk or they go 40 miles an hour and don't bother to consider the idea that the horse might spook or something might happen.
I work in public transportation. I drive all over Willits. Used to be about 100 miles a day, but not anymore. I find that a lot of people don't even know that Willits has public transportation, which is interesting. But, the last community group that I worked on was One Town, One Vision. What I found on One Town, One Vision, we split into about 6 or 8 groups. And within a year, there was one group with 3 people in it. It was because short-term projects didn't get accomplished and projects weren't identified. People lost interest. And the project that we did was the ball fields, parking lot, and stuff down in there. We redesigned, before it, that was actually the ball fields and everything. We redesigned the parking lot and made it a little bit better than what was proposed. It took 1.5 years to get that designed and then approved by the city council.
Up the Eel River Canyon, that trail, I was so happy to see that even on a map when last week at the meeting, because that to me is a jewel that could really put us on the map for people like Larry, who goes all over to other places to ride bikes. People would come here if they could go down a canyon like that, and that's really exciting to me. And working with landowners is a huge job in making it okay for everybody.
This is a coalition, and I think we have to decide how we're coalitioning with each other. I think that, Rotary got involved because it had some legitimacy and firepower and some money, to these jobs. People are doing their own projects. If the horsemen want to get together and get a project and they have something that's feasible, then come to the rest of us, and that's where we come in and try to help. So I think what we should all do is decide where we want to expend our efforts, and then come together as a group when you have an idea and you need help, or you need money, or you need fundraising, or whatever, and then this coalition can help do that. And the other thing is to work with the skunk line. The owner of the skunk line came to the meeting. They were very positive, and if anybody wants, I got the NCRA rules here, and I read that, and I mean, that just changed my mind totally about the possibility of actually, as a group, as a citizens group, of doing anything with rails with trails. It is a government project. It's a publicly funded project. We're not going to be out there with weed whackers helping. I mean, this is, it's put out to bid. This is the way that's going to work. My vision, or the way I see it, is we're a coalition. We got good people here. We got leaders from all the different, areas. We got people with different interests. And great, pursue your interests. Get people together that want to do it. Plan what you want to do. Come to the coalition, and then we'll all work together on carrying those things out.
I'm thinking of the corridor down to River Valley. I mean, just to throw out, are we really tied to the rail? What I'm getting at is it possible, like, to talk to Tracy and other people at the Church of the Golden Rule? Is it possible to take a bicycle path through that to get down to River Valley? Sure. So these are possibilities. We could entertain them.
Let me just respond to at least one piece to what Richard was saying, is that I agree with what most people have said, is that we all want to walk, we all want to bicycle, many of us want to ride horses, we want to be able to, get around in our communities. And some of these things are going to be long-range projects. It could take years, but some things are worth waiting for and working for. And we lose interest if we can't do things in some kind of time frame that makes sense to us. So one project that's in the works that I bring to the coalition is the 10,000-step Willits Healthy Action Team walks that we do those 2 or 3 times a year. There's been about 2,000 people, so I mean, there's a lot of people that, including you, that kind of put their feet where our desire is. And there's nothing like actually walking with your community to not only feel good, but to keep the fires going for saying, great, okay, we did that. What else can we do? Where else can we walk? What can we add on to that?
Let's come up with a structure. If we're going to have, let's say, the Willits Trails Coalition, okay? And one idea put out so far has been that people get into subgroups, okay, according to interest. Get the bicyclists together, the hikers together, the equestrians together. Great idea, but let's do it. Let's get it formed now so these people can go off and come up with their ideas and then come to, let's say, a steering committee, okay, that is really the heart of the coalition that works through these personal projects. How about having people in the steering, a representative of the cyclists, or 2 representative cyclists, 2 of the hikers, 2 of the equestrians?
That's what I meant in the agenda, exactly. Yeah.
How about bringing it together to where in the steering committee there would be equal interests?
Richard's interested in the skunk line, and I think that's fascinating, because we're going to try to work on cleaning that out, and it's a real gentle trail, and we can jump on it right now. I mean, the city and the county, the railroad, nobody's going to stop you from hiking along a trail.
I first have a question of Larry. In our emails, when we were going back and forth about maybe we could ride the tracks from Redwood Valley to Willits and see what we encountered and report back to you, other than the comment my husband made, someone else said, do we have permission to pass there? Do we need permission to ride along the railroad tracks?
I don't know the answer to that.
Probably technically yes, but I've never had anyone interfere with me for doing it.
I actually stopped walking the tracks from Commercial North about 10 years ago because I was threatened with arrest by the people that were maintaining it, whoever the railroad hired at the time. So that's why I stopped walking that corridor.
That was our latest episode of This Week in Willits. The individual segments of this program were produced by local filmmakers. And no, you don't have to be a film pro to contribute to This Week in Willits. Contact us with your ideas to find out how you and your organization can be a part of our next program. I'm Shari. Goodbye until next time.
So that's about it for now. Things are happening in Willits, as they always are, and things are changing, as they always do. Yet it's still the same familiar hometown we've all come to know and appreciate for what it is. We'd like to know what's happening with you, with your families, and the organizations which would not exist without your efforts and support. So give us a call at 459-2528 and let us know what's going on with you. Maybe you'll be a part of our next story. Keep tuned and join us next time to see what's happening this week in Willits.